Bin Laden with a pin, body in a kin. I begin slaughtering your men. Golly should have been. Ali in a spin. Golly embodiment of sin. Like a Saudi and the Taliban plotting in a drink. In a lobby of the Intercontinental with an obvious intent. I will not even relent upon a little. Like Osama with a bomb under the Pentagon in the middle of the Pentagon. And hit a kindergarten with a whip. Back and forth. Like Jack and Forky and Zaz the court. Rat mature. Why can't you be like Macklemore? Why you always gotta smack a horn?
Whew. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first edition in 2018 of Jays with Jay. Incredible. It's January 1st, 2018. I can't believe we finally made it. What a year. What a year it's going to be. What a special year it's going to be. And what an incredible song that was released. Chloroseptic by Eminem was off his album Revival, but this is the remix featuring 2 Chainz and Fresher with a P. And my goodness, I know I ended the last one. Well, I started the last one by talking shit about Eminem's album Revival, but Jesus Christ, did he come back with this one? He came back hard, and he pretty much insulted anyone who fucking hated that last album. So I'm insulted, but at the same time, I'm very happy that I'm insulted because this song was incredible. His verse, which comes on at the last, I think, 2 minutes and 45 seconds. He just goes on a rant and he tears it up, and it's beautiful. Even 2 Chainz does a pretty good job. Fresher, he's not that bad, but he's kind of mumbling, so you don't really understand what the fuck he's saying, unless you really break it down and listen. But Eminem, my goodness, where was this guy in the last album? That's all I want to say. That's enough with Eminem. He took up almost the last episode. I don't want to fucking continue talking about him, but great song. If you haven't checked it out, it's called the Chloroseptic Remix. I believe it's called Chloroseptic Remix with Eminem, 2 Chainz, and Fresher. Fresher was also on the original version. He just had the chorus, really. Didn't really say anything, but this one he has a whole verse. So it's 2018, motherfuckers. What's going on? Let's see. I can tell you what's going on right off the bat. It's a whole new year, so you guess what that means. The gyms are packed. Anyone who works out like I do when I go to the gym, Jesus Christ, these gyms are packed, and they're packed with just people who are probably going to last another week. I give them by January 20th, they'll give up, or they'll try and cancel the membership and try and wiggle their way out and be forced to continue paying whatever it is that they're paying. Because since you signed the contract, I'm sorry, just because you're lazy and don't want to come to the gym no more. We won't be giving back your money. That's not how this works. If that's how it worked, fuck, I'd be collecting a lot of money on a lot of stupid shit I've signed up for and not even shown up to. ISSA weight training is one of those things. That class is probably still waiting for me to finish it. But yeah, we're 2018. Like I said, the gyms are back, and it's funny that I don't know why. It's like every year it seems like I'm pretty sure it seems like it's always the same people signing up to this gym, especially the gym that I go to. California. It's always the same people I see there every year. They sign up and they're there for the month, and then I don't know if they get abducted by aliens during this month, or maybe there's an injury, or they get a super long cold that lasts a year until next January. But they end up disappearing, and it's just funny to see them keep coming and keep spending money. And I'm talking with the guy who owns it, and we're both laughing at the fact that you just keep coming back. You keep coming back, but you're not devoted. And why is that? Why are you not? What? First of all, what triggers your want to come sign up to a gym? What is the reason as to why you want to work out? There's got to be a goal. There's got to be fucking some reason as to why you're willing to spend hundreds of dollars throughout the year. Depending, obviously, where you're signing up, you could be spending more if you're signing up to a really expensive gym that has fancy weights and et cetera, and basically a bunch of shit that you're not going to use, but it looks really cool, so you sign up regardless because it looks really cool, and you can tell your friends and everybody, hey, I'm going to the gym and it's got some turf. Oh, that's nice, John. Are you actually going to use the turf? No, but it does have some turf. That's good. So that's pretty much what happens. You get sucked into all the fucking cool fancy stuff that they have at a gym. But at the end of the day, you're not going to use it. I know you're not going to use it. You're going to tell yourself you're going to use it. But then you're going to get there, you're going to do your workout, and you're just going to be like, I'm just going to go home. I don't feel like doing this. That's not an insult. That's just how we are, and that's how I am also. There's a bunch of cool stuff that I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this the next day. I don't end up doing it. You go in, you do your stupid chest workout. You get that done, you get some cardio in, you stretch it out. Some people don't even do the cardio or do the stretching before and after. Some people don't even warm up. And those are the ones that I know that are probably either not going to last in the gym because they're just going to come in, do their exercise as quick as possible, end up getting hurt, or end up not liking the feeling of being sore in the morning. But all this is natural. It's a natural thing that happens when you're working out. You just don't work out and boom, there's some muscles. Regardless of what people make you think when they take steroids, there is no boom in muscles. You gotta work up to it, and it takes a lot of devotion to constantly want to go to the gym. Not only does it take devotion, it takes the appetite to be willing to eat. I'm gonna call them boring food because it depends on how you're doing it, and not everybody has a chef, or not everybody is a chef, or not everybody can afford to eat as healthy as you should be. So what you're eating, basically the broccolis and this and that and the healthy vegetables, they're missing on that flavor that you like when you buy a Big Mac and you're tasting all that disgusting and juicy fucking meat and all that garbage that's in there. But it's delicious. For some, it may not be delicious, but for others, it's delicious because it's got that flavor. And that's why it's tough for people to stick with their diet and to stick with working out, because it becomes boring and becomes repetitive. So, to those people that you're signing up and you know this is what you're in for, you got to find ways and alternatives as how to keep this interesting. In other words, the perfect alternative is don't do the same workout plan for 12 weeks straight. Or better yet, because I know you're not going to last 12 weeks at the gym, if you see after the third week, if you make it to the third week, and if you're at the third week, you're kind of getting boring, switch it up. Switch up your plan. It's nothing crazy. I'm not suggesting anything that probably is against fucking the workout rules. Look, if you're bored with your plan and if what you're doing is not entertaining you and you're the kind of person who constantly needs to be doing something different or switching up, hell, add a rep or two. Change up the weights. If you're not changing up the weights and you're sticking to what you're, let's say you're sticking with 25, go to 30. If you could do 25 with ease, what makes you think you can't do 30 with ease? And if you do 25 and then say you go to 30 and you struggle with 30, then do at least 25 pounds, at least 15 reps. Just extend it. Make it a little game. Make it fun. That's what going to the gym should be. It should be your own personal sanctuary where you're going in there and you don't have to worry about what's going on in the outside world. Now, if you're the kind of guy who's bringing his cell phone and his laptop and his iPad and all this garbage into the gym because he constantly needs to be connected to what's going on, then that's a different story. Then you're just not going there for the right reason, and you're not going to be putting in the effort and the focus that you should be putting in and getting the results that you want, because your attention is always being spent towards something else. When you're in the gym and you're working out, you should be focused on the body part that you're working out. You're working out your chest, you're doing bench press. Your focus should be on where this energy is going and coming. Your focus should be on the perfect form, and your focus should be on ensuring that what you're doing will not injure you in the process of that you're doing it. If you're there and you're doing the bench press and you're going down and then you're lifting up and all of a sudden you start thinking about this text message you just got in your pocket, you're going to get distracted midway and your focus is not going to be turned to the fact that you want to get through this as quickly as possible to see what's going on your phone. Don't. Come to the gym and focus. Put a little focus in it, and I promise you'll see that it's a lot more entertaining, and it's kind of fun. It could be kind of fun. It could be kind of a pain in the ass to get up and go do it in the morning. But this is coming from someone who fucking has been going to the gym for quite some time. So I'm allowed to bitch and complain and put my negativity on how it is. But for someone who's going for his first week and already he's complaining, listen, buddy, if you're complaining after the first week, you shouldn't have signed up to begin with, and this is just not for you, and you're weak at mind and you're weak at heart. It sounds very mean, but let's be honest, it's the truth. You're just quitting on yourself. The gym's not quitting on you because the gym's not going anywhere. The weights are not quitting on you because they're not doing anything. It's you who's quitting on yourself to lift this up and to make a difference as to what your original idea and what your goal was to begin with. Now, if you're one of those people who just don't have enough time and you're constantly working and there's other stuff going on in your life, that's understandable too also. But at the same time, I want people to realize that there are gyms that do exist out there that are 24 hours. So whatever your reason may be, unless it's something dire, there's always a reason behind. There's always something behind whatever your excuse may be. There's always a response. There's always an answer. But if at the end of the day you just don't like it, and you notice after going for a couple of days or whatever it is, then that's your prerogative. But at the end of the day, it's just funny to see every year a bunch of new people are coming in. They're there. They're super excited, men and women. They all want to get in shape in 2 weeks. They want to get off the excess weight they ate because apparently they think they're fat in their mind. And they're just wasting their time. they're just wasting. I don't care. You're giving money to the gym. Good for the gym. I'm happy the gym makes money. But you're just looking foolish at the end of the day that you waste your time. Just set yourself and make yourself. Here's a good way to explain. Here's the perfect way. If your goal is to sign up to the gym, and you're planning, it's like, tomorrow I'm gonna go. Sit down for a second. Sit down and just think to yourself, what are the reasons? Why am I doing this? Do I really need to do it? Do I really want to do it? Am I wasting my time? Really take some time to think about it. Don't think of it as, I'm going to go to the gym because I want to get bigger. Or I'm going to go to the gym because I need to lose weight. If this is it, if this is your ultimate goal, your goal is just to lose weight, and there's no real meaning behind it, no real as to why you want to lose weight, and just because you think you're fat, then don't do it. If you want to go because you want to improve your cardio and you want to be able to attain a goal, like, I plan to run a marathon, or I want to be able to walk up the steps and not be able to huff and puff when I get to the top and feel tired, or I want to not feel tired throughout my day, or I'm tired of feeling useless throughout my day, or I just feel and I want to get that motivation in my day, and I just want to be able to have energy. That's what you need. If your simple reason of going to the gym is because you want muscles and you want to lose weight, you're not going to last for long, because that is the wrong motivation, and that is the wrong mindset to have. It will disappear once you realize it does not come as quickly as it does, and it takes hard work and dedication and the right eating habit. Without any of that, you can't achieve your goal. You could get by, which I enjoy getting by. I'm not going to eat super healthy every day. I don't mind eating some garbage, some trash from here and then. Why the hell not? We're human. We got to enjoy ourselves and have a good time. But if you're going to go to the gym and every day you're going to eat a whole plate of pasta, listen, the results are not going to show. If you're going to eat hamburgers every day, you're going to eat out every day, and I'm talking food, but when I mean you're going to eat out every day, the results are not going to be there. Unless you're eating out super healthy at the veggie burger. And anyways, it doesn't really matter. Basically, it's a new year. Same old shit. People sign up, people quit. Hell, I signed up. I'm always signed up. I keep saying I'm going to quit one year. I'm the opposite of everyone else. Maybe I should try quitting one day. We'll see what happens. Well, that, my friends, is Judas by Fozzy. What is Fozzy? Fozzy is a band, first and foremost. Whose band is it? It is the band of WWE wrestler Chris Jericho. I should maybe rephrase that. From pro wrestler Chris Jericho, not WWE wrestler Chris Jericho. The reason I play this song is because this upcoming weekend on January 4th, Chris Jericho and upcoming weekend. What day are we? Oh, fuck, we're January 9th. My bad. Oh, I thought we were January. Whatever. Anyways, whew, big mistake. This last week, now that we're back and all caught up, Jesus Christ, what the hell have I been smoking? January 4th, Wrestle Kingdom 12. For those who don't know what that is the New Japan Pro Wrestling's version of what WWE has of WrestleMania. What is WrestleMania and what is Wrestle Kingdom? It is the Super Bowl for professional wrestling. How is it considered a Super Bowl for professional wrestling? Very simple. They do it in a big stadium. They stack the card with some of the best matches that they could come up with throughout the year. Most of them are dream matches you won't see throughout most of the year. This is one time only, and this is the show that it's their big show to put it all on the line and show everyone what they're worth, how good they are as wrestlers. So Wrestle Kingdom 12 happened last week, January 4th, in Japan, in the Tokyo Dome. And I bring this up because there was a classic match that I recommend. If you're just like a casual wrestling fan and you're down to see some hardcore wrestling, blood, tables, people's kids getting slapped in the face and then taking a beating. If you're down for comedy and if you're down for straight anger and violence and you're down for a fight, what pro wrestling brings is a fight. And if you've ever seen the guys such as Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock in a fight, The Undertaker, Triple H, and etc. in a fight, the old guys I'm talking about, because the new style of wrestling is more, it's in ring. There's no more like you believe that they're in a fight and they're in a war. This is what I'm talking about. Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, both are Canadian, both are from Winnipeg, both are professional wrestlers. Jericho more known in his WCW and WWE days. Currently now is doing some stuff for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Kenny Omega, very underground guy, considered by some one of the best pro wrestlers going on wrestling today that is not signed by the big company. He wrestles in New Japan, the Japanese organization, and ROH, another underground and small independent company of pro wrestling. These two put on a classic no-holds-barred match where anything pretty much went, and they did some of the highest and craziest spots meaning big moves, dangerous moves you're not going to see on a regular basis in the ring, but they're done for the big events. They put it all out there. They beat the hell out of each other, and you believed every single second of it. And to some, once you hear the running time, you're like, fuck, I gotta sit through that much. But from the get go, I'm telling you, it is worth watching. The match itself goes 34 minutes, and these guys put on a 34-minute beating, where by the end of it, you believe they're hurt. From when you see the cut on Jericho's leg, that's not natural cut. That happened from going through a table to the cut on his head to the bruises and the scars on both their backs, Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. You believe that they went through a fight and you were a part of this fight. So if there's something I could recommend out of the wrestling world that's worth checking out, that is not your casual WWE, but just something different, and maybe if you check this out, you might get interested in some of the other New Japan matches, because they're straight. A lot of people call them shoot wrestling, and what that means is that you believe that they're throwing real elbows and strikes, and because a lot of the time they're connecting, and a lot of the time it's strike for strike, and this is the battle of who is the best. This is not your safe pro wrestling that you get in WWE, because this also doesn't happen every night. New Japan puts on very limited events throughout the year. It's not every night where WWE is like 300 days a year or 265, whatever it may be. New Japan, these guys bring it out for the big events, and they don't have to really hold back when they go at it. So this is why I recommend this. This is their big show. This was the big fight. This is what the event was being sold off of, minus the main event, which is between Okada and Naito, which you probably don't really know. But there's some match that I'm recommending. It is Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega. And if you're not sold on me telling you to watch the match, go watch Chris Jericho's post-fight interview or pre-fight interview. Both are hilarious. There are F-bombs galore. This is a Chris Jericho that you've never seen before. This is the kind of guy who shows up to work and he's like, what the fuck do you want? What's your question? I don't give a shit what your question is. This is the kind of Jericho that's never been seen before. It's funny. You're into it. Yeah, maybe it's funny. It's funny for me, but maybe it might be funny for you. And you believe everything. And once you get to the match and you see the violence and you see the spectacle that they put on, you're sold. And for 34 minutes with the near falls, you didn't really know who was going to win, but you had a good idea because Jericho's not there full time. He's also still a WWE guy, so he technically, I don't want to give away the ending. It's like I said, you got everything. You got chairs, you got bats, you got tables, you got commentators getting hit, referees getting shoved, you got crazy moves. What more do you want from a wrestling match? If there's anything more you want from a wrestling match, then I recommend you go watch ECW and you watch people actually try and commit murder. Or better yet, go watch Cactus Jack versus, I don't remember his name, Terry Funk maybe, or watch the event where Mick Foley got his ear ripped off with barbed wire. If that's what you're looking for, then that's the stuff you should check out. But if not, then this is a hell of a match, and this is worth the 34 minutes. It zooms by. You've probably seen worse movies that have gone longer than 34 minutes. So if you got time to waste and you're not really doing anything on your days off, give it a look, and then let me know what you guys think about it. If you don't like it, tell me, Joseph, you're wasting my goddamn time. If you do like it, you're welcome.
Returns January 14th with a stacked card full of top contenders. Featherweight sluggers Jeremy Stevens and Doo-Ho Choi meet in a thrilling showdown. Middleweight striking sensations Uriah Hall and Vitor Belfort square off in an epic clash. Paige Van Zandt and Jessica Rose Clark take aim at the new women's flyweight division, and much more. Watch UFC Fight Night live.
He is back. And who is he that I am referring to? I am talking Doo-Ho. I fucked up his name. Doo-Ho Choi. I'm sorry about that. Sorry. Doo-Ho Choi is back. And my goodness, Who is Duo Choi? Fuck you, if that's the question you're gonna ask me. Watch Cub Swanson versus Du Ho Choi. The best fight out of 2016 took place in Toronto, Ontario, Canada at UFC 206, which was headlined by, unfortunately, not Daniel Cormier and Anthony Johnson. But they stole the show. They put on a hell of a fight, and he's back. And Du Ho Choi's back. He's been out a year. He's been hurt. He's been graduating, getting married. He's been doing a lot of his stuff. He's probably one of the cutest Asians you'll ever see compete in mixed martial arts. He's one of the better strikers you'll ever see in the featherweight division. This man has knockout power in his hands, and he comes to fight. And if you don't believe that he looks like the type of person who's coming to fight, watch his fight against Cub Swanson. For 3 rounds, these men went to war. Cub may have got the better of him here and there, but my goodness, did Du Ho Choi stick in that fight, and he did not quit for 1 second. And here he's coming up against another tough opponent, just like a Cub Swanson, in Jeremy Stephens. Jeremy Stephens is coming off an incredible victory over Renan Barao. Sure, you could argue Renan Barao is he's not that good. He's whatever. And sure, you could argue I am making a mistake that he is coming off a win, Jeremy Stephens, over Gilbert Melendez. My bad. He beat Renan Barao in 2016. Jeremy Stephens is coming off his first victory now. His first victory in his last, he's 1-2 in his last in his 3 fights. He's coming off a decision victory over Gilbert Melendez, a very tough opponent. If you don't know who Gilbert is, he was Strikeforce lightweight champion. He was a top contender in the UFC, got caught for steroids, has been out a while. He's part of the Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz crew, Cesar Gracie. He's a very high-level grappler. This was his first time going down to 145 for Gil Melendez, and he didn't win, but Jeremy Stephens did, so he's coming off with some momentum. His last 2 losses, though, were to Frankie Edgar, which is not arguable. You can't really get too angry. Frankie is a machine. He's one of the best featherweights in the division, and congratulations to him for finally getting his 3rd crack at the featherweight title. Du Ho Choi is his first fight since his loss to Cub Swanson, so there's a gap of about a year and a half. It's an interesting fight for both guys, because both guys really need this win. Sure, Jeremy most definitely needs this win. He's lost all his tough fights. If you look at Jeremy's record, he has lost. Where has he gone here? He's lost to Joe Lozon, Gleason Tebow, Melvin Guillard, Anthony Pettis, Donald Cerrone, Eve Edwards, Cub Swanson, Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway, Frankie Edgar, and some guy that I will not pronounce his name because I don't even know who he is. That was his last loss, and well, this guy lost to Brian Ortega in his last fight, so too bad. But Jeremy's lost basically what I just read to you was a list of the top guys, and he's lost to all the top guys. You could argue that Jeremy has basically been the gatekeeper to this division. He's also been considered by some the laughing stock of this division after the comments he made where he's tried to say... Actually, it's better if you hear what he tried to say. One moment.
Right here, the hardest hitting 145 pounds, the real hardest hitting 145er, right here. This guy TKOs people. When I knock people out, they don't fucking move. Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that? Yo, they don't know who I am. Who the fuck is that? Oh my god. I don't know. When I take that guy's belt, Leprechaun. Oh, good one. When I take that guy's belt, I'm looking around. I don't know what anyone else has for me around here. I might have to jump up and fucking drag Floyd Mayweather out there and see what the fuck he's at again.
That is Jeremy Stephens, ladies and gentlemen. In case you forgot, it is the guy who Conor McGregor basically punked when he said something along the lines of, I am the hardest hitting 145 pounder. When I hit people, they go to sleep. And well, Conor laughed at him. And at the end of the day, I don't know how many KOs this man has. I can probably tell you it's not that many. Oh, he's got 26 wins, 16 KOs, 3 submissions, 7 by decision. I guess he's got quite a few KOs. 16 is a pretty good number. The last person he's KO'd was... Well, we're talking KOs. He said they go to sleep. This man was not KO'd. The last person he KO'd was in 2013. I'm not good at math, but we're going to say 5 years ago. Shit. This guy must KO a lot of people. And since that time, in the 5 years, he has fought a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times. 8 out of his 9 fights, he has KO'd 1. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The KO artist himself. Jeremy Stephens taking on Doo-Ho Choi. A true knockout man. A man with 14 victories, 11 by knockout, 1 by submission, and 2 by decision. That's some pretty impressive stats right there. And this is a huge test for him. I'm fucking excited. I really don't care who wins. I'm just excited to see what happens in this fight. And let's just watch this fight and enjoy it. No pick. Let's move on to the next fight. There's a pick in the next fight. We got Vitor Belfort taking on Uriah Hall. If you're not excited for this fight, then fuck you. This is a huge fight. This is a big fight for Vitor. Vitor gets his victory. Title shot. I'm talking title shot is in sight, ladies and gentlemen. This man is still very young, Vitor. He's only 40 years old. He looks fantastic. He's in the best shape of his life. He's coming off a huge victory over Nate Marquardt, which was incredible. He had an incredible fight against Kelvin Gastelum. He didn't even lose that fight against Kelvin Gastelum. So he's looking pretty good. He's 0-1-1 so far. So let's see how he comes out here. He lost to Gegard Mousasi, but who hasn't? And Jacare Souza, but who hasn't either lost to him? His victory over Marquardt. Here he is fighting a guy named Uriah Hall. Uriah Hall is a very elite striker. Very creative with his striking. Let me rephrase that. He's very creative when he's not afraid to throw his strikes. He also has one of the only victories over Gegard Mousasi, which he did get with a flying knee, which was a huge victory for him. Since then, he has lost to Robert Whittaker, the current middleweight champion, Derek Brunson, who is a machine and a very good fighter, and he lost to Gegard Mousasi in the rematch. Beat Christoph Jotko in his last fight. It's not really saying much. He's good, Christoph, but whatever. Now he's fighting Vitor Belfort. I got Vitor. I don't see what the hell Uriah Hall is going to do to new Vitor. New Vitor looks incredible. New Vitor is coming in over here. He's training out of TriStar Gym. He's got Faraz Zahabi backing him up. He looked very impressive in his last fight. He wasn't rushing in and trying to knock people out or getting himself knocked out. So I expect to see the same Vitor. And if that's the Vitor you get and he's not willing to put a firefight with Uriah Hall, Uriah's going to have to do something. But Uriah is mostly a counter fighter. If this becomes a chess match, who could counter who first, Belfort's taking the decision. He's just more creative overall on what he could do. If he wants to take him down and just do nothing, or he just wants to grapple with him, he could strike with him also. We'll see what happens. This fight, I want to say I'm predicting a finish, but this is going decision. This is going to be most likely an unhappy decision for the fans. But Vitor Belfort's taking it. After that, you got Paige Van Zandt and Jessica Rose Clark having their first fight that is not technically the first fight, but it's the first flyweight fight. It's not for the belt. The champion is... I don't even know who the flyweight champion is, and it's pretty sad. But this is a big fight. Winner's moving up in the rankings, and it won't take much to get a shot at the champion. They don't got many contenders. Paige Van Zandt's taking on a girl who beat Beck Rawlings. Beck is never an easy fight to win. She's on a 2-fight win streak. Paige has been out for quite some time now. She's also, I believe, coming off a loss against a very tough and high-skilled opponent in Michelle Watterson. Since then, she's been on Dancing with the Stars, and this is her big fight back. She's been gone for a year. I just don't think it's going to be interesting. I don't want to pick against her. She's a very good fighter, but it's going to be interesting. You got the Dancing with the Stars versus Jessica Rose Clark. Comes down to who's going to want it more, who has more skill, and really who's been putting more time in the gym. I'm not going to pick. I'm just going to jump to the next fight where you got Kamaru Usman versus Emil Meek. If you don't know who these two guys are, first of all, get to know them. Kamaru Usman is an incredible fighter. He's on an 11-fight win streak. That's probably not an 11-fight win streak. He's on a 10-fight win streak. He's 11-1. 6 knockouts, 1 submission, 4 decisions. He's taking on a very tough opponent in Emil Meek. Emil's a knockout artist. He's just powerful in his hands. It's a welterweight battle, and he also has 7 knockout wins, 1 decision, and 1 submission. He's 9-2. He's currently on a 4-fight win streak, and he's one of the guys who beat Rousimar Paul Harris, aka known as the guy who holds on to leg locks for far too long. Emil Meek has not fought since 2016. I believe there was some issues, visa issues or injury issues that were kept him off the fight. But he's back now. He's back against the guy who's been pretty active in Kamaru Usman. He fought September 6th, fought twice in 2017, April and September. I think we're in for a fight. If there's going to be a finish somewhere, it's not going to be here. These two are just going to bang it out, and it's going to be a fun fight regardless. I'm going to have to go with Usman just because he's been active. He's been active. Meek's been out, and Usman's got a lot of hype behind him. I like Meek. I think Meek's a very good fighter, but if he was just as active, who knows? This would have been a much more intriguing fight, but Kamaru Usman, there you are. He's my pick. Vitor Belfort's my pick. Motherfucking Doo Ho Choi is my pick. I don't give a shit what anyone says. You want to look at the undercard real quick? You got James Krause and Alex White. James Krause is a veteran. He's very good. I don't see why he should lose his fight. You got Darren Elkins versus Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson, the guy who got beat by Nate Diaz, and then the guy who got punished by Khabib Nurmagomedov. Sorry, he was the one where Khabib was punching him in the face and just telling him, "Please quit. Please quit. I deserve title shot. You should not be fighting." Oh, and Johnson had a war last year against Justin Gaethje, in which Justin Gaethje knocked him out in spectacular fashion. He's fighting Darren Elkins. Darren Elkins is going through a rejuvenation in his career at 33 years old. This man's been impressive. He's currently on a 5-fight win streak. He's beat Dennis Bermudez, whatever, mind you, who hasn't. He's beaten Dennis Bermudez, Mizrad Bekchik, Pepe, Chas Kelly, and Robert Whiteford. Those are a pretty good list of people. He has losses to Jeremy Stevens, Chad Mendez, and Harkin Diaz, and Charles Oliveira. So his losses are not to nobodies. He's lost a bit to names. And he's coming in here, and I like him. I think he's going to do good. He's training out of Uriah Faber's team, Alpha Male. He's looked good since he's been with them. Michael Johnson, I just think he's at the end of his career. The rest of the card, it's just you either know them or you don't know them. But the main card and Johnson and Elkins and James Krause fight, we're checking out on the prelims. Overall, this is going to be a fun card. There's going to be some deaths, there's going to be some blood, there's going to be some decisions, and there's going to be some upsets. But at the end of the day, it's live and free coming to you from St. Louis. It's on Sunday, the 14th of January 2018. It is the first UFC event, and it's the first UFC event to kick off with a main event with two guys who are just going to slug it out and give you a fight that you want to see. What more do you want me to sell you? It's maybe the start time. I'm really hoping it's not 10 p.m., but I can't find the start time. It's just going to be a good night of fights at the end of the day. It's coming to you from St. Louis, January 14, 2018. UFC, live and free on probably TSN. And if you're in the States, I think it's FS1. FS1, yeah. Well, I think we covered quite a bit for this 2018 special edition. Hell, I think we did pretty good for a 2018 opener. We've covered New Japan, something new. We've covered what's coming up in the UFC. We've covered people going to the gym. There was probably a conversation of how great Eminem was starting off 2018 on his song Chloroseptic. Hell, I think we're looking at a great year so far. I just want to say thank you to everybody for listening. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. If you do take the time out of your day to listen, as always, like, subscribe, follow, send them out to your friends and family. And I do not know why this cupboard is open behind me. But anyways, getting back on track. Like, subscribe, follow, send it out to your friends. Let's keep this movement going. And I ain't talking the movement that started the Golden Globes, and that's not a cheap shot. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. Have a good day. Peace.